Hey guys, today let's discuss some mating motives. So in this game, white checkmate black in 6 moves. Let's see. So first of all here, these two rooks are, especially this rook is not that good. So if they have this rook in the 8th or 7th rank, probably they would have stopped the mate. But now, or take some time if you want to solve the puzzle. So here it is white to play. Alright, so or d8 check. So now the king have to come 7th rank. Let's say king g7. Then we will bring down another rook or 1 d7 check. So the king have to go either f6 or h6. If the king goes to f6, we will follow with a check or f5 check. Now the king going towards the center. Then again with the rook e8 check. So now king is again forced to enter. Let's say there are two options, king to f4 followed by d4 check, king g3. Finally or e3 is an amazing move, is a mate. So going back, so at this point instead of king f6 they can try king h6. So now or h8 is a mate. If in this position, if they try instead of king f4, if they try king f6, then or e6 is a mate. So this is a forced checkmate. So it shows the power of two rooks in the open ranks in this case. So moving on to the next one. So this game played by Arthur Yusufov with a white piece. So black king is extremely weak, white king is very safe. So he played or e5. It's a very nice move. So threatening or g5 check. So now there are a couple of ways black can respond, or d7 is one. So then here comes or g5 anyway. The king is forced to enter the h7 square. Blocking won't help. Immediate mate is there. So king h7, queen g6 is a possibility. h8, then rook h5 check, then rook have to block, then queen h7 or rook h7, both are a mate. So going to the starting position, after or d7 we discuss or g5, king h7, g6. Yeah, here instead of g6 or h5 is also, it's a quick mate. So after or h8 is a mate. So let's see here, instead of or d7 they can try rook f8. So now queen g6 check, king h8. So rook h5 is a quick mate. So they can also try queen c7 at the starting. That won't stop the mate either. So rook g5 check, queen blocks won't help, queen g7. So now king h7, queen g6 check, h8, rook h5, queen have to block, and then will lead to a mate like this. Again there is another possibility, instead of queen g6 they can try or h5 check, g8, and then box mate. Okay, so guys, the next game with the black piece. So pause your video if you want to solve this. So here it is black to play, and so let's start with the knight e2 check, and then king have only one square to move, kh1. Here comes the queen sacrifice, queen h2 check. The only option is to accept. Then we have rook h4 checkmate. So this is the Anastasia mate. So black won in a forcing way. So moving on. Yeah, so this is somewhat complicated than the previous one. So the idea is kind of similar to the last one. So we will start with the knight e2 check, king h1. So this is the key move, queen takes g4, fantastic move. So now pawn, let's say if the pawn accept the queen sacrifice, then rook h5 check, distracting the pawn away, then going for a same mate. And they are not forced to accept the queen at this point. They can try pawn f3, but that don't help white much. So for saving the knight check, and then king g1, then accepting the rook and also attacking the queen. So now if they capture our queen, we can take white queen. So rx f1. Now rook d4 counter attack. So pawn capture queen, rook capture their queen. So for example, king capture, queen f4, pinning the pawn, absolute pin, pawn is not allowed to take the rook. So black is in a winning position here. Yeah, so let's see the next one. Yeah, so here also black is winning. So the two rooks are very strong. Rooks in the second ranks are powerful. So now black players start with the sacrifice, rx f3, then pawn capture it. So here we have to use the knight d4 discovered check, then king h1, let's say. So here comes knight f3 threatening to mate like this. So previously instead of king h1 they can try rook g2. So now knight f3 check, king h1, forced mate is coming. So now it's a mate in one. So here it's very important to note that taking the rook is not good for black. So the reason is first rook check, then we let's say the king escaping, knight check. So king have to go like this. So then wait, now it is knight f7 check. Then there's only two options for the king to move, and wherever the king goes, there is a mate in the next turn. Okay, so that's why taking the rook is very bad move. We should go for a mate. So it's very important to remove the knight and then checkmate. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this. Yeah, so here it's a very beautiful queen sacrifice. So first queen h4 threatening to mate. So it's a huge threat. Let's say if the rook goes to g2, then we have queen sacrifice again. So the rook is forced to accept the queen. Now rook to the first rank delivers mate. However, they are not forced to enter rook g2. Instead of that, they can accept the queen like this. Now rh1 is a mate. Yeah. So even they are not allowed to, necessary, it's not necessary to accept the queen. The king can go to g2, kg2. Here comes the rook check. Queen capture means we can easily capture back, and then king capture the knight, and then follow with a queen h3 check, king e2, so pawn d3. So it's not a fun position for white. So white king is clearly in trouble. King d2 is a possibility. Now we can, for example, capture here. This is the plan. So like the c4, let's say check, king c3, and then pawn d2. So this is mate is coming very soon. Black is losing in all the variation. Okay, on to the next one. So this is a different theme. So here we are seeing the battery, queen bishop battery, but blocked by the own pawn. So we have to push the pawn, and also it's very important to note here this knight is guarding the h2. So knight is the defender of the king side. We kick the knight, so knight have to run. If the knight run away, let's say knight going to maybe like this, then checkmate on h2. So it's very important for white to save the king, not the knight. So they can try this, but anyway we will win the piece and later the game. So black is better here, unleashing the battery. Okay, so in this one is it's a similar idea. We have bishop queen battery. So we can start by, we have to somehow distract this knight. So it is knight capture knight. Then if the knight capture means there is immediate mate. So the pawn capture is a possibility. Pawn capture, then we can capture the bishop, unleashing the rook. So now the rook may capture it, we can win this bishop. And previously after pawn capture, instead of that, bishop can also capture. So now knight d2 is the move, attacking the queen, taking advantage of the overloaded knight. So the knight cannot control that square. If the knight go back, there is immediate mate. So if the queen d1, then I will remove the knight and then going for a mate like this. Even if, yeah, the knight capture means queen h2 immediate mate. Okay, so in this one we have an open line. That's a hint in this position. White to play and um, win. So it is qh2 followed by unstoppable mate. So they can do some blocking moves, postponing the mate. But yeah, so whenever you have an open file, try to create a battery there. So on to the next one. In this case, it is okay. So it is white to play, and the best move here is bishop capture g7. So now the rook can capture the bishop. Let's say rook capture g7, rook capture. King have to accept, otherwise there is a mate. Here comes another rook. Bring all the pieces to the party. Rook g1 check. So king h8. It's very important to play queen g4. So not queen h6 because the rook will defend the mate. So queen g4 followed by the unstoppable mate. They can try knight e6, but after the capture, checkmate threat is there. So here we can also start with rook capture first. Will lead to the same story later. So on to the next one. Yeah. So here we are looking at a different checkmate theme. It is known as Bourdon's mate. So now black will at least win a piece here. So pawn to d5. So very nice plan. The bishop in danger and the pawn in danger. Right? So the pawn does not have any support, but they are opening this diagonal for the bishop due to one reason. If they accept the sacrifice, then checkmate into is forcing. So queen captures e3. They are forced to accept the queen. The bishop is very strong there. King does not have any legal move. Now checkmate. It's a Bourdon's mate. Very nice move. So it's very important for white to not accept the free pawn. Instead of that, the bishop should go somewhere. Even if the bishop move away, this check is that. So it's very important to play something like moving the rook away to create escaping square for the king. Okay, so moving on to the last one. So in this puzzle, it's the same theme, white to play, but this is very tricky. So the first move is qa6. So black can stop the plan by queen c5. So for example, if they immediately accept means checkmate like the similar fashion. So queen can go to c5. Now guarding this a7 pawn. So now knight a4 attacking the queen. So the queen does not have a safe square other than f2. All the squares are bad. So let's say the queen goes to e3 check. We will obviously capture it, and then they can take our queen, and we will take on a6 check and follow with king b8 is the let's say king c7 means we will follow with the check, and then blocking will result in a material loss. So king b8, knight e5 is the key move here. So then king c7 is a possibility. Knight capture means rook is hanging in the back. So king c7. So here comes the another knight sacrifice. So the idea behind that move is after capture bishop f4 check. Again they have to block with the bishop. They will lose the bishop. So knight e5. Then we will anyway capture it. Rook d6. Now we can even start with rook d6, bishop d6. Now it's the idea behind that is rook g7. This rook is lost. I mean bishop g7. So let's see the variations here. Instead of rook d6, They can try bishop d6, but anyway will result in the same. The pin is there, so we will bring the another rook and put pressure on the pinned piece. Okay, so it is so good for white. There is another variation. Let's say at this point, yeah, we discussed this. King c7 means bishop f4 check. However, instead of queen e3 check, they can try queen f2. Then we will anyway sacrifice check and then checkmate. So at the start, instead of queen c5, they can also try knight e5 to guard this and block the bishop. So rook capture, rook check, and then king. Let's say king capture means queen a5, saving the queen, taking the knight later. So if the queen capture, then knight x e5, queen sacrifice, then bishop check, king c7, discovered check is coming, and then winning the queen. Yeah, so bishop blocks means we can take the queen first. Okay, so yeah, that's it guys. This is the chapter 1. It's mating motifs. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.